Here I remember the day it all ended. It wasn't an HR meeting, it was a sharp pain, a snap, and the realization that my body had finally said no more. I was 55 years old when I was injured on the job for the last time. What followed wasn't vacation, it was a long dark tunnel of surgeries, physical therapy, and vocational rehab, which is basically the system trying to figure out what to do with a man that's used up. By the time I came out the other side, I realized I was too old for a physical grind in my life, and the job market didn't exactly have a red carpet out for a 57-year-old with a repaired back. If you feel you've been written off by an injury, by layoff, or by a system that sees your age as a liability, this is for you. I'm going to share the 5 moves I made to go from unemployable to back in control. We aren't done. We're just switching gears. So move number 1, reframe your experience as a premium product. The hardest part of Voc Rehab wasn't the retraining, it was the ego hit. The fact that I wasn't going to get back to what I was. I felt like a broken worker, but then I realized my 30 years of experience didn't disappear just because I couldn't lift a heavy box or a beam anymore. What I did, I stopped looking for jobs that required my back and started looking for jobs that required my brain. I stopped apologizing for what I couldn't do physically and started charging them for what I knew mentally. You aren't a laborer anymore. You're the guy who knows where the landmines are because you've already stepped in them. That knowledge is a premium product. Think of yourself as a chief surgeon of your injury. You don't get paid for the surgery. You get paid for the knowledge of knowing exactly where to cut. Move number 2, go independent. Consulting and freelancing. This is where I found my footing. When you have a gap on your resume from surgeries and rehab, HR departments get nervous. They see risk. What I did, I skipped HR. I went straight to the people with problems. Companies that can't afford to hire you full-time with benefits will happily pay you as a consultant to solve a specific problem. You are much easier, yes, when you're a specialist. You're much easier when you're a specialist. You don't need a boss. You need clients. Whether it's operations, safety, logistics, sell the solution, not the 40-hour work week. Move number 2, the bridge role in encore careers. Let's be real, after surgeries, a bank account is usually looking thin. I had to take a bridge role, anything to pay the bills. It wasn't my dream career, but it stopped the financial bleed while I planned my next move. For many of us, this leads to an encore career, work that actually means something. I saw guys in rehab move into teaching at vocational schools or leading nonprofits. Your corporate or field skills are desperately needed in places where they value wisdom over speed. It's about who you want to be for the next 20 years, not just a paycheck. Move 4, start a low-impact business. At 55, you have judgment that a 25-year-old can't buy. If your body can't do what it used to, you have to leverage a business model that scales with your mind. The move? Start a simple, lean, service-based business. Low cost, key startup under $1,000. Low impact, focus on work you can do from a desk or through meetings. High value, use a skill people already ask your advice on. I didn't need a warehouse. I didn't need a laptop. I just needed a laptop and my phone. You have 3 decades of contacts. That is your startup capital. Move 5. Target age-friendly job sources. If you're still looking for a traditional role, stop fighting the entry-level filters on the big sites. You have to go where experience is a requirement, not a drawback. What I did? I looked at sites like Workforce 50, Seniors for Hire. These platforms are built for us. I also looked at flex jobs for remote work that didn't put a strain on my recovery. There's also gigs you can get down at the local temp service. We have 3 of them in this town. Don't send 100 applications into the void. Have 10 conversations with smaller family-owned companies. They don't have fancy AI filters. They have owners who are stressed out and need a steady hand they can trust. I won't lie to you. Recovering from an injury at 55 and trying to restart is one of the hardest things I've ever done. It shakes your identity. But looking back, that folder injury was just a catalyst. I'm not used up. Neither are you. Pick one move this week. Just one. And tell me in the comments, what was your last straw moment? I read every comment. You're not alone. And you aren't done. You've got more game left than you think. Go show them.